fate is being like, kiss. Hello. Welcome. So, ignore my frizz, it's raining and yeah, humidity. But I'm here to do a quick explainy intro, emphasis on quick. But what you're about to see is what's supposed to be a vlog footage. Not really a vlog, but footage from last year's Hispanic Heritage Month. If you weren't following my socials or watching any of my streams, right pretty much at the beginning of October, my great uncle of mine passed away, my grandfather, and then my dad got sick, and then he needed to have surgery in November, and I just wasn't in the headspace. I couldn't handle editing the vlog, even though I did great thing. I went to a local bookstore that's run by an Latin person, and I had gotten footage and talked to her, and she was nice, amazing, and I was going to post pictures on Instagram too, and I never did that either, and I felt really bad, which they are audiobooks. I think I've talked about them in other videos, and I've reposted their stuff on Instagram. They're finally getting a bigger store, a proper store, this actually next month, which I'm really excited for. I'm hoping to be able to go to the opening, or at least close to the opening. And yeah, so it kind of just got chaotic life. And then, as you know, I have now this year shortened out my videos, so this just kept being pushed back, and I went through a point on my computer where I needed to delete things, and I made the decision to delete a lot of the vlog footage and realized the only reason I still wanted to put up this video was for the book reviews. I read a lot of books, which was the main part of the vlog, really, that were written by Latin authors, and I wanted to rate them and talk about them just like I do for the series. So I decided, you know what, I'll get rid of any of the other footage I have, and just focus on the reading, excuse me. So what you're about to see is some of it's a little choppy. It's not the greatest, but I feel like I want to put up the footage of the books, and really it's a little bit from the beginning, and then the ending and section where I was wrapping up the vlog when I talked about them kind of like in a general conclusion process. So yeah, that's what you're about to see. I'm sorry it took me so long. I'm going to do another vlog. I have plans for this Hispanic Heritage Month, and I'm hoping nothing happens this year and I'm able to get it out to you guys in a timely manner. I'm hoping for November. November would be the publication for the Hispanic Heritage Month video vlog, whatever it ends up being. So, but yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy. Okay, I'm not gonna do this lighting, I'm not setting anything up. I just put everything away and then finished my book. So I finished What the Hex by Alexis Daria, and I'll put that up here by Yor. It was a novella. It was 2 and 45 minutes long, according to Storygraph, and it was a quick read. I read it all in one day, obviously, and it was funny. It was sweet. It was quirky. It wasn't high stakes at all. I definitely would say it wasn't erotica. It was really only, there was 2 sections. There was one like intimate scene, and then there was another, like, well, the main character called it a quickie. So those were nice. That one was really short. That was almost like Fade to Black, sort of, or like tease Fade to Black. I like how the magic was integrated with everything. That was quite interesting. But yeah, that was really good. It was nice, quick, very quick and easy. So this, hello, back again. So I finished Son of a Beach, like the beach, not the other word. And it went really fast, and I did not like it. So it had good tropes that, like, I like. It has good tropes that I like. It had the hate to love and like forced proximity, pretty much. And it had a coworker romance, which I'm realizing that depending on the type of co-working situation, I kind of like a little bit. And it had all the ingredients for me to really, really like the story. But I didn't. I did not. I did not like it at all. And I think the biggest reason was that it was a novella. It went by way too fast for a hate to love relationship to be reasonable. I don't want to say realistic because it's fancy. None of it's realistic. Let's be realistic about that. But for it to be like reasonable, I did not like it. So first of all, she has history of like having a romance with a coworker at a former job. So she kind of has like problems that she has to deal with. And they were slightly addressed in the sense of, oh yeah, there's things that I still have to work through. Like it wasn't like brushed under. But I think that her just throwing herself into this passion would not happen. Like without her being like drunk or inhibition, having her inhibitions like affected. So I didn't like it. I liked the characters. I liked where the story was going. It was just too fast. For A, the romance to be realistic, and B, for the characters to have a decent progression. Unlike What the Hex, which was also a novella, that one had rivals / friends to lovers, and that progression was much more realistic, especially because the rivals was when they were kids and they have history. So it's not like two strangers that really know nothing about each other suddenly coming together, which is what this was. Yes, they've worked in the same company for a while, but they work in total different departments. She is like boss level, and he's not. So there's like a power imbalance, sort of, which is not necessarily like a deal breaker, but it just seemed really weird and forced, and I didn't like it. So I gave it a 4.25. This is the lowest I've given any of the books so far. But yeah, if I could get this and it could be a full story, then I probably would have liked it. I would have read more of this. But this in general, no. I can see myself reading What the Hex again, for like something quick, funny, something to like cleanse me kind of thing. This, no. I did not enjoy it enough to re-listen to it or reread it. It definitely left me disappointing. Though the spicy scene was good, the story in total was just lacking. It needed more pages, more words, more story. So late. I just wanted. I felt like I should do an update. It's been a while, I think. I'm still reading the West Side love story. It's coming slow. I haven't fallen in love with the story or the characters. I thought I was. It seemed much more interesting. It seems like it's much more of a retelling, less of like a reimagining of Romeo and Juliet, which I guess was the story is. I didn't realize it. I was like, oh, she's gonna copy West Side Story. No, it's definitely, and it says it there when I was reading the blurb more. So I'm kind of disappointed, but I'm trying to give it a try. So I'm still reading it because I don't like absolutely hate it. There's some like weird stuff. I'm in chapter 6, barely. So I'm gonna go. I'm very tired. I just wanted to do an update. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see if I DNF this book too. Because I'm really struggling to be like, oh, this is interesting. Alright, bye. Welcome back. It is October 16th. It is officially no longer Hispanic Heritage Month. I read almost everything except for the last 2 things. I kind of just ran out of steam. So what I read. So I read the Sunbearer Trials, in the Sunbearer duology by Ada Thomas. I gave it a 4.5 and I greatly enjoyed it. That one is its own video, eventually will be published. Again, videos are coming out slowly. This will come out before that one. So I just wanted to kind of mention it in here, as it was part of the whole Hispanic Heritage Month situation. That one just got its own special spotlight, though the video will most likely come out, I'm going to say next year, because I'm working on another video in the series that I'm hoping to have out at least by the end of this year. So that one, it was great. I loved it. Can't wait for the next one. That one is also young adult. Then I read my first novella, and it's What the Hex by Alexa Daria, and I gave that one a 4.25. I greatly enjoyed it. It was definitely short. It's a novella. It's an Audible original, unfortunately. Though she got the rights to finally be able to make it into an ebook and a physical copy. And I kind of want a physical copy because I definitely enjoyed it. I would definitely re-listen to it or even reread it as if I want something just like quick and fun and just funny. It was nice. It was interesting. And I think the tropes worked with how fast it needed to be a novella. So it was nice. Then I read A Proposal They Can't Refuse, the Viega Family Love Stories #1 by Natalie Ganya. I'm saying that wrong. I do not have a rating on that, and I don't remember what I said in the past video, so I will insert whatever rating I put here when I go back and listen when I'm editing this. But I do know that I liked it. I definitely liked it. It was fun. There was annoying angst in it, which was great. I loved the grandparents or the grandfathers. It was it was cute, and I think the whole trope of like the Papa being this meddlesome, especially because traditionally it's a woman's thing to be like matchmaker, but this is a Papa, and I love them. Love them. Can't wait for the next one and what shenanigans the Papa's gonna get into with the next couple. So, um, definitely. I'm pretty sure it's probably rated like a 4.75, 4.5 at minimum is what I rated it. So there's that one. Then I read Son of a Beach, like the beach, not the B word, by Mia Sosa. This one was also a novella. This was my second novella. This one I did not enjoy. It felt too fast. So this one was about the same amount of time as the other novella. So it wasn't like one was longer than the other, like by some great amount. But I feel like the trope needed more time to develop. The plot was just way too quick. The relationship was just not realistic. It needed more pages. It needed more story. And being that it was a novella, it couldn't do that. So this was enemies to lovers, or like hate to love. And I think that I have learned that I don't like this in a novella. Like, it's one of my favorite tropes, but I don't think. I mean, I've only read this once. I could find another one that does it well, but I just don't think it works. If this is a trope that needs time and pages to develop and make it realistic for the couple to transition from not liking each other to loving each other. So yeah, I didn't like it. I gave it a 4.25. The story itself was nice. Like I said, I would reread this if it became a proper novel, over like a novella. But yeah, I don't. I just was disappointed. I was overall disappointed. And that was it. That was all I read. Or no, that's all I finished. In my current reads, I am currently, because it's not done, it's a novella, serialized story. I am reading Marina the Vampire by Esther Anduro, or under Kindle, it's Marie Anduro, which is her middle name, but it's Esther, and I'll link her down below, and her channel. She's an author tutor. She's lovely. We did a collab for Hispanic Heritage Month last year, and those videos will be linked to all that stuff. This is her serialized story. I actually added it to Storygraph for her, so it could count. But she's planning for 20 chapters for the end of the year, and that's kind of what I set it as, like her first book, and that was weird. Her first book, and she said that was fine. So I am at 60% through. She just put up chapter 12, I think it is, or chapter 13. I just updated it, and I can't remember. But she's somewhere up there. That's specifically on Ko-fi. So if you do not live in the U.S., you don't have access to novella, and because of that, and she also lives in Puerto Rico and doesn't have access to her own story, which I thought was hilarious when she told me. Like, Amazon, please. So because of that, you can read her story on Ko-fi, which is where I read it. It's a membership tier, and on Patreon if you don't want to use Ko-fi. For the Ko-fi and Patreon, you get to read it before Candidilla readers do, and you're getting special access, just like extra things on Ko-fi and Patreon for readers, so incentives, and obviously she gets more money from us being members of either Patreon or Ko-fi over Kindlevella, because Amazon don't give a shit about their artists. But we're not talking about that. I am loving the story. I am unabashedly in love with Marina, the main character vampire, because of course I'm in love with the vampire. I'm predictable, but this is a love or hate to love, fated mates kind of story, where Marina is a vampire, and Ethan, who's the love interest, comes from a family of vampire hunters, and they should not be together, and fate is being like, kiss. And they're like, no. They're like when you're trying to like push two people together and they're like adamantly pushing away. Yeah, that is exactly what this is, and it is wonderful. I love it. I cannot wait for every update. I'm going to be very sad when we get to 20 chapters and she takes her break, but she's been working super hard. I've been talking to her, telling her don't tell me any spoilers, but I've been talking with her, and she deserves a break. But yeah, so I recommend that, and I'll have her Ko-fi linked, where I think Ko-fi is better than Patreon. Personally, I have a Ko-fi, but the Ko-fi will be there, and also her Kindle link will be there. Actually, I might see if she'll give me her link tray and link just the link tray, because I know her link tree has everything. We'll see. Pending that, you can check to see what's there. Yeah. So there's that one. Then I started reading the last book I had planned to read, besides Marina the Vampire, which obviously I wasn't going to finish because it's a serialized story. The West Side Love Story by Priscilla Orlarias. I always feel like I'm saying everybody's name wrong, or I'm overthinking it. But whatever. Not the point. So this might just be my like not understanding that West Side Story is a Romeo and Juliet book. Is it? I don't know. Someone tell me. I mean, I could Google it, but is West Side Story like a remake of Romeo and Juliet? I feel like it's not. Again, coming as someone who never read Romeo and Juliet, just understand content. I read Love and Tacos Ramon and Julieta, that is supposed to be a Romeo and Juliet retelling, which I felt like was very loose on that. And it was definitely its own story, and it was wonderful. This one, I don't know if I was starting to burn out, because I do this every year. I'm like, I'm going to read so much, and I'm going to make so many videos, which is why I decided to kind of couple everything together in this one particular vlog for the month. And I always burn out by the end, and then it takes me forever to finish like the last book. So I don't know if I'm hitting that, and that's what's happening, but I'm just not liking it. Like, I love the idea of the mariachis and these people falling in love, but even how it opened, I was just like, this is blah. Like, it opens on a party, much like what Ramon and Julieta does, where they meet at like the Day of the Dead fiesta. This one is like a New Year's Eve party, and they just choose not to tell each other their names and then find out later who each other are. Gotten to that point. And I'm just like, not feeling it. I feel like there are elements that I should like absolutely love. Like, I love how strong the women are. The main character, I don't even remember her name. The main character, it works in the medical field, which I work in the medical field. I'm writing a book that has medical field influence. Like, I should love that. And she's like the older sister of these adopted sisters, and the main character is like the older brother taking care of his sister, and I think that's cute and wonderful, and I should love that. But there is just something about it that I'm just like, ugh. I'm just not into it. And again, I don't know if I give it a break, read something else, which is what I'm planning to do, and then come back to it, will I then love it? Because I have definitely done that with books before, where I just take a break, read something else, come back, and just devour the book. And I'm like, yes, I like it. I don't know. Or it could just be my classic of like, I really don't like these overly dramatic like love stories of like Romeo and Juliet, The Notebook, The Great Gatsby. Like, I really didn't like any of those. I read The Great Gatsby because I had to, and I watched the movie with Leonardo DiCaprio, mostly because I love Leonardo DiCaprio, and I enjoyed him. I didn't enjoy the movie. Like, maybe I'm just like, I enjoy the whole Fate. I feel like it's different from Fated Mates. I guess I shouldn't even put it in the same category because it really isn't. I think it's just I don't know. I don't know. I just don't like the Romeo and Juliet trope. I know it's not really, I don't think it's a trope, but I just, when it really harpens on this like, oh, we shouldn't be together because we're total opposites, but I love, I don't know. And it really seems like he loves her, or like at least really likes her, and she is like lustful for him, but I don't think she has real emotions, which can change throughout the book. I mean, that's fine. I don't know, just something, from the moment I started listening to it, I was unimpressed, and it made me sad. So yeah, I haven't finished reading it. I'm not DNFing it. I think I'm just gonna put it down for a little bit and re-listen to it. It is mine. I have it on Libra, or no, I have it on Audible because I did sign up for a free trial of Audible again. Only because it's not anywhere else. I tried to wait and I was like, I'm really excited to read this because I love the whole like mariachi, and I thought it was based off of West Side Story, and it feels like I mean, if you read the back, which I guess I never did, or like the blurb, I guess I didn't. I just went off of what people were saying about it and what I assumed it was based off of the title, that it was a Romeo and Juliet retelling, and I feel like, I mean, I read the blurb when I introduced the books I was reading. I think at the beginning, I don't even remember. I'm pretty sure I did. And I was surprised because I didn't know that. I don't know. But there's that. I'm in chapter 6 because Audible doesn't give you percentages, and I hate it and it makes me mad. But I'm at chapter 6. All right, it's going to be backwards. But it's Brujas, the Magic and Power of Witches of Color. I am reading this or listening to it because, of course, I bought the physical book and was like, does it have an audiobook? Yes. So I'm going to listen to it instead. Because it's easier for me to consume things audibly. But it was on Libro FM, which is awesome. So I gave Audio Books in Tucson more money because I bought it at the physical store and then I bought the audiobook, and they're my books of choice. So I bought the book twice from them. I'm supporting local. I'm shopping local. Besides that, so I am enjoying this, and it's eye-opening as I am in a weird impasse in my life, and I'm enjoying this, and I think it very definitely ties into my search for my true heritage and where my roots are, and I'm enjoying it. I am 24% of the way in, and literally the only reason I'm just that far in is that each section is a lot. It's a lot to take. It's a lot to process. I wish I had started listening to this sooner because I'm sure I would have finished it then. But it's a lot, and I love it. But I definitely need like breaks to think about and absorb what the book is telling me because it is a nonfiction. And yeah, so that's the only reason it's not finished is because it is a lot to take in, and I don't want to just speed run through reading this and not appreciate what the book is trying to tell me. So yeah, that's the only reason it's not done. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. I love the naked cover of the movies, even though I enjoy the stars more than the moon. Though I acknowledge that the moon is important. That's the only reason it's not done. I'm enjoying it and actually trying to learn from it. So that is all that I read for Hispanic Heritage. Yeah, it was nice. I learned about new books, found new authors, found new books. Again, I fall into the dilemma of I get to listen more than I read, and making, especially as an independent or like a self-published author, it is hard to get your book into audio form, and it's tough because I want to read things and they're just not available, and it kind of makes me sad because that is how I consume the majority of my content. Reading on a device is still kind of foreign to me for a long form. I'm surprised that I'm reading Esther's book as much as I am. I'm usually much more about dropping those things. Knowing her might be a big push of why I'm continuing to do it, which is fine. It might teach me to get more into it, but yeah, I don't know if that will change, if it won't. We will See, but well, back. Thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Again, I'm so sorry that it came out late, but hopefully, like I said, beginning at this time, I'll be able to put it up in a timely fashion. Let me know what you thought if you've read any of the books that I read. Let me know down below your opinions. Do you agree? Do you not agree with anything? And any books that I should read that are within this wheelhouse, whether it's for a video or just in general, let me know. But if you're interested also in any of my content, go ahead and hit subscribe. And yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Again, greatly appreciate it. And I will see you guys next time in the next video. Bye. Stories.